You're listening to TurkishSoccer.com's Turkish Football Podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new edition off-season podcast. My name is Ahmet Bob Turgut. Next 15 minutes, it might not be 15 minutes because we don't have much to share with you, but we'll talk about what happened in the past couple weeks, and we'll talk about the Turkish national team playing in the Nations League matches. They are, in the third division, and they played two matches already. Their third match coming up this Saturday, and we'll talk about the fourth match also coming up on June 14th on Tuesday. But before we go into a Turkish national team news, I just want to give you a couple notes and news from Turkish Super League and what's going on. As you know, last podcast when I had done, we didn't know the third team that was moving up, promoted to Turkish Super League. That happened to be another Istanbul team, Istanbulspor, after most likely 28 years, I believe. I'm not correctly sure, but they were in that was the last time they were in the Turkish Super League. So they are back into the Turkish Super League. They will play in the Turkish Super League next season. So with that, we have 8 teams playing from Istanbul in the Turkish Super League. Beşiktaş, Fenerbahçe, Galatasaray, Başakşehir, Kasımpaşa, Fatih Karagümrük, Ümraniyespor, Istanbulspor. That makes it 8. So we will have 8 teams from Istanbul. So a lot of these 8 teams will have at least 8 home games. It's going to be in Istanbul. But the question is, all these teams, even Ümraniye, Fatih Karagümrük, Istanbulspor, Kasımpaşa, even Kasımpaşa has a good stadium. Their stadium is only for 3,000 or 5,000 people holds. So what's going to happen in a big match against Galatasaray, Fenerbahçe, and Beşiktaş? This is why I think Turkish Football Federation should have some credentials when the teams move up to the Turkish Super League. If you want a quality league, you should have credentials to be in the Turkish Super League. So, newcomers, Ümraniye and Istanbulspor has only a stadium holds only 3,000 to 5,000 people. As you know, Başakşehir has no fan base at all, maybe a handful. It goes same way with Kasımpaşa. So, we have a lot of teams from Istanbul playing in the Turkish Super League, but we also have teams that has no fan base. It's going to be happening next season. So, 18 teams will start next season. And as you know, the season will start early because of the World Cup matches. And I believe the first week of August, Turkish Super League season 2022-2023 will start. As far as the news, what's going on in the off-season, as you know, the team who is in chaos, still in chaos. I've been on Twitter space places. I've been on clubhouses listening to the fans, members of Galatasaray team. Past 2 months, they are talking about who is going to be the president of Galatasaray club. That is the talk of town in between Galatasaray fans. I happen to go into a lot of these talk shows on Twitter Spaces and also on Clubhouse. And I tell you, Galatasaray fans are uptight. They don't know what's going to happen with the team. As of now, we're talking about in almost middle of the June. The season will start early, first week of August. The elections will happen this weekend on Saturday, or I believe Saturday or Sunday. But they don't have a president. But I don't think it is whether who wins the elections. Either two parties, looks like one is going to be win for sure. But my question is, Galatasaray has more problems than electing president of the club. They're in a huge debt, and they have problems with the football team. They're going to let go a lot of players, and they can't do much transfer because of no money. Unless these people come in, whoever wins the presidency might spice some kind of money, their own money. But you got to remember, with the new rules that Turkish government is going to force on all these teams, they cannot spend their money the 100%. They can only spend their money 30% of their money. So it is chaos still going on with Galatasaray because they don't know who is the president. We'll find out this weekend who will be the president of the club. It is just mind-boggling. I said this before on my many podcasts. I think the system is corrupt. There are still Turkish teams there having their elections with their 70s rules and regulations. And then board members, the members of the clubs, decides who is going to be the president. Just remember, about not even a year ago, Galatasaray had the election. Burak Elmas was elected as president. And then, a couple months ago, the board of directors, board of members, did not give Burak Elmas okay to go on with his job. So, this might be happening soon too, because the system is wrong. First of all, every team has to change the system, election system. Look at some of the teams in Europe, how they do these elections. Elected people are not professionals to run the teams. You need professional people running each club's sports teams, like football, like volleyball, like basketball. Elected presidents and his committee can't not run these clubs anymore. We're in the 2022. You need professional people to run these teams. I guarantee you, after this election's done, within a year, Galatasaray fans and members are going to talk about sacking this president. Because Galatasaray right now and other big clubs, Beşiktaş and Fenerbahçe, they're in a big debt. One plus for Fenerbahçe is Ali Koç has some money to play. You know, he's one of the richest person in Turkey. But The system, the way these teams run, has to change. If you don't bring professional people to these teams to run these teams, you're going to have problems all the time. That's all I have to say. And as you know, Fenerbahçe hired a new coach. They let go Ismail Kartal. Jorge Jesus, world famous coach, will be coaching Fenerbahçe for 1 year. He signed a contract 1 year. And guess what? With his entourage, it will cost Fenerbahçe 7 million euro for 1 year. He might be a good coach. He is a world-known coach. But why would you pay for a coach for that kind of money for 1 year? Look for problems if Fenerbahçe doesn't win matches next season. As far as the Mesut Özil saga, we don't know what's going to be happening. Mesut Özil might not play for Fenerbahçe, but he still has a contract with them. Also, Beşiktaş had their elections. Beşiktaş members, board of members, directors elected Ahmet Nur Çebi again. So Ahmet Nur Çebi was elected. He will be Beşiktaş president. And Hikmet Karaman, Kayserispor coach, the guy that lost the final match against Sivasspor in the Turkish Cup match, was sacked. And then Kayserispor hired Hatayspor coach Ömer Erdoğan. So, as you know, Sivas is the winner of the Turkish Cup this season. Sivasspor and Trabzonspor will play for Super Cup later on. That is the most news that I have for you right now from Turkish football, Turkish Super League. Now let's get to the Turkish national team. As you know, Turkish national team, after had a bad record this past season, not qualifying for the World Cup. I'm kind of mad and sad about that. They dropped down in the standings in UEFA's listing. So they went down to a third division in the Nations League. With the young squad, Stefan Kuntz won their first two matches. First, at home, Faroe Islands. They beat Faroe Islands 4-0. And the second match, an away match in Lithuania, they beat them 6-0. In two matches, they scored 10 goals. Third match will be happening this coming Saturday, June 11th. They will be in Luxembourg. They will face Luxembourg in Luxembourg. And after that third match, they will be at home against Lithuania. And that match will be on Tuesday, June 14th. Now, after these two matches in the Group League C, Group 1, Turkish national team stands on top with 6 points. Second place team is Luxembourg, is also with 6 points. So this Saturday, the match will be for first place. We'll see what happens. We have a lot of young guys playing in the team. Stefan Kuntz believes in the young boys. And it should be a very interesting match. After that match, as I said, the last match of this month will be at home against Lithuania. And then they'll come back to play other matches on September. This is it. Next.